Enjoy life, be thankful, work hard, and never stop. Of course, there's gonna be tough days. You're not gonna feel like going to the gym. You're not gonna feel like doing your business, but you just have to grind through. It doesn't matter. You have to build your life not around your career. You have to first and foremost think about your religion.
Friendship is a priceless gift that cannot be bought nor sold, but its value is far greater than a mountain made of gold. For gold is cold and lifeless. It can neither be seen nor heard. In times of trouble, it's powerless to cheer. Gold has no ears to listen, no heart to understand. It cannot bring you comfort or reach out a helping hand. So when you ask God for a gift, be thankful if He sends not diamonds, pearls, or riches, but the love of real true friends. Edgars, this is a biography about Muhammad Ali, written by Hannah Ali, his daughter, and it's a memoir written about him. By his daughter, and it's a beautiful book. And to start a podcast, I would like to give this to you.
Oh, thank you. I'm reading also another book by Muhammad Ali. I think it's a little bit different one, so it's another good addition to my bookcase.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Yeah, it's different than his other books. You're welcome. Because I read the one about butterfly. I don't know if that's one you're referring to. Like that one was written by a writer. This one is his daughter. So it's like she writes, like, for example, this is a poem that he recited to her, like when she woke up, something like that. So like it's a different look on his life, and it's very intimate, and I really enjoyed it. So
yeah, he's a good example. I look up also to Muhammad Ali, and may Allah have mercy on his soul. May Allah forgive all of his sins and give him the highest Jannah, highest place in paradise.
Yeah.
And he's example for everybody. Example in the fighting world, how you need to build up fights and everything. And more so, he's an example how to be a Muslim and everything. After he finished his career, when he had the disease as well, he said that he's thankful, like in this quote, he's also thankful for the disease because he understood that he's not the greatest, that the Almighty Creator is the greatest. And that's good that he died on these beliefs, that he understood that only the Creator is the greatest.
Yeah, it really puts things into perspective. Also to hear it from someone that has achieved so much, that they're still very grateful and they believe. Like, I think nowadays, especially in Europe and other countries, like that kind of fades away a little bit more. When you read these things, it makes you feel more included, at least for me.
Yeah, exactly. And as he said in the quote as well about thankfulness, about being grateful for everything, and for being grateful that you have. Not always you're gonna have all of this dunya, all of these pearls, gold, cars, and everything. Be grateful for the cards that you have been dealt. And like Creator says in Quran, if you're gonna be grateful, I'm gonna give you more.
Yeah.
It's about patience as well, about patience in life. And my business, where I work, in my sports business, in my career as well, it's all about patience, consistency, and being patient as well. When I mean like being patient, it's not like just like sitting and waiting for something that's gonna happen. When you make dua for God as well, it's not about just making dua. You have to take action. You have to take the means as well. So this is our religion, and our last and final message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him as well. This is the best example. Yes, we believe in God. Yes, we ask Him everything that we want, but we also have to take action.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Before you continue watching, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell, so you never miss a future upload. Can I ask you, because I saw on your Instagram stories that you were in Mecca last week, and I think that's a very relevant topic to talk about, considering we just talked about this. Could you talk about how that was, that experience?
Well, actually, like, to be honest, it's hard to talk about it because words cannot describe it. Words cannot describe this feeling, what you have, that inner feeling, the spiritual feeling that you have. It's in between you, between your intention, why you're going there, why you're doing these rituals to the Holy Land, to the first house of worship. It's also called like house of God. So you cannot go there just like that. We Muslims believe that you have to be actually invited by Allah, invited by the Creator. So when we are making our dua and everything, asking Him, we have to ask also like for the allowance. So He allows us to enter there. So He invites us to Mecca, to the Holy Land. And like I said, words cannot describe. It's just between you. It's just between the Creator. When I was going there, when I was there already, I was just thinking it's like so many people, so many nationalities, races, and everything. We are all together, and this a little bit reminded me the day of judgment as well, because you're there just in two pieces of cloth, just like it's like two towels, nothing else. You don't have anything. You don't have even your underpants and everything. You're just going there, doing all of these rituals that has to be done, and these are my thoughts. What I came there when what I felt there, it reminded me. Yeah, we all are together there, different kind of races, nationalities, like I said, but in the end, it's just in between and your Creator.
Could you talk about the rituals that you perform when you're there? Because for people that don't know, like what it looks like and the meaning behind them.
So this is called a small pilgrimage, Umrah as well. It's called Umrah, and it starts by you. Like I said, it's all between you and God. It starts with your intention, what's inside of you. You have to take intention that you're gonna go there, perform this ritual Umrah, that you're gonna go to house of God, and do all of these things. What our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. All of these things. When you go there, it starts just by going you there and seeing the Kaaba. It's the cube, the black cube. And for those like listeners who doesn't understand this and everything, we're not worshiping the Kaaba. It's just a place of worship. It's just the direction towards where we pray. We are worshiping the one who created that Kaaba, the one who created everything. And it just starts with that. After that, you do like 7 tawaf, 7 circles counterclockwise. And I heard about this. Why we are doing counterclockwise? Because everything in this universe goes counterclockwise. And I don't know about that. I just heard about it, and Allah knows best why we do it and everything. We're just this is His command. This is what our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. That's why we're doing it. And after that, when we finish the 7 circles, we go to the place where Ibrahim, it's also called in English Abraham, the one who built this house, he prayed, we prayed there. After that, we go and drink Zamzam water, which is like a blessed water for us and everything. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he also told, Zamzam water, when you drink it, it's just for whatever you want, for whatever you have deep inside of you. That's what it is for. And the last step is you are like going in between mountains, Safa and Marwa. This is representing when Haja, the wife of Ibrahim, she was going in between mountains when she was left alone with the child in the desert. There was no water, there was no nothing, and the child, the baby, was crying, and she was searching for water where to find. So she was running from in between these mountains. So we are doing the same. We are going and running in between these mountains also 7 times, and we do this because this is the part of ritual, and because also Haja was doing it. And why she was looking for water, like I said before. And it's a desert. Where can you find the water? At that time, as I know from the hadith and just reading about Islam, about history, that the angel came down, the angel hit the ground, and the water came out. This is the Zamzam water, what I was like referring, what we are drinking there. And Of course, all of this time you are making dua, you are asking forgiveness, asking for whatever you want, both in this worldly life and in the hereafter as well. So in the end, it finishes getting out of this state, which is called ihram state. When you're performing this pilgrimage, you go and shave your head. And this is how it ends, the small pilgrimage.
Could you talk about dua, and for the people that don't know it, like don't know what it entails, like how you do it, and just the way that the religion sees that?
So the dua is like almost any other religion does it as well, like both Christians, Jews, and I think also in like even Buddhism and in many religions. It's just asking the Almighty Creator for whatever you want, for forgiveness, asking for these dunya things, for what is dunya? Dunya is this worldly life. Asking, I don't know, I want to get a phone. Just go and ask. But after after that you have to take the means. You have to go work for it. You have to like plan how to get it and everything. So this is just simple like definition of dua. Of course, if you're gonna ask some scholar, he's gonna give you like specific, more
Yeah.
precise like definition. But this is just for people like us, just simple people to understand. Just making and asking God for whatever you want.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I think by doing that, you're also putting yourself in a position where you're asking, and by doing so, like you will subconsciously like you will direct yourself to there, right? It's like that's also one of the ideas behind that. If that's in your head, you ask for it, and then by doing so, like step by step, but you also have to do it yourself, and that's what you mentioned as well. Because I've heard a lot of people that, for example, people that are non-religious or non-Muslims that were like, oh, but if you're just asking for it, how does that work? But like you mentioned it, right? It's you have to also take the means to do it.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
But it starts like in between
yeah,
you and the God. Within yourself, you have to like understand that you like there is somebody who can provide it for you,
yeah.
and you can ask for it, and everything starts from there. Yeah, you after that you have to take action.
It's the intention, right? And also you mentioned it with like the with going to Mecca, like you need to have that intention. Could you talk a little bit about that? Like how does that work? Is that something that you have to do within yourself, or if someone wants to do that themselves, what is the way that they should approach that?
Yeah, intention is just in between yourself,
Yeah,
inside of you. You don't like even have to say it out loud and everything. It starts with intention. Each and every action has some kind of intention, and like the last prophet of the last and final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said every action is gonna be judged by intention. On the day of judgment, it's gonna be judged by your intention. What was your intention? So maybe somebody can give charity a lot of money, but it wasn't done with the right intention. Maybe it was done just to show off and show how much money you have and things like that. So it's not a good intention, right?
yeah,
Yeah, but maybe something lesser can be done with a good intention. Maybe somebody can give food to somebody. Just you have the intention because you want to help out. You want to help out that person or group of persons for the sake of God, and that's how it's gonna be judged. It's inside of you.
we haven't mentioned it yet, but you're a fighter, and I'm very interested about how religion has impact on your fighting career and the way you a fight, or perhaps you prepare. Are there some things that intertwine?
Of course, religion is not just when you go and pray in the mosque, or when you go to the Mecca and perform all of these rituals. This religion is more like a lifestyle. It includes everything. You have to build your life not around your business, your career, or everything. You have to first and foremost like think about your deen, about your lifestyle, about your religion, and then you build everything around it. If I would say it's not impacting me in any way or so, it would be a lie, because each and every step that you take, that you do, it's impacts you in all of. And religion, I can tell you, yes, of course, it helps me. It helps me be calm, be peaceful, and just trusting myself and trusting whatever has been wrote, trusting my destiny, what the God has wrote for me. So of course it helps, and I cannot think how can people achieve great heights without having this belief, this taqwa, which is called like God consciousness. All the time, you know that whatever happens for a reason. So if you like in a business, go gain some money or lose some money, even if you lose a fight, lose a money. So there was some kind of reason in it, and maybe something is good in it. So that's what kind of mentality you have to have. And like I said, Muhammad Ali, I have studied a lot of athletes and everything, read their biographies. Most of them have this belief, this understanding that whatever happens for a reason.
What would be your advice for people that, especially in good times, have difficulties with practicing their religion? I know that in hard times, a lot of people come back to it. But I feel like also for me, I'm asking personally as well, when things start to go well and I don't really have, like sometimes I have difficulties to think about it and it just doesn't come to my mind. But when things are harder, then it's the first thing that I'll go back to. Do you have some advice for that, or maybe you understand the situation?
Well, first and foremost, nobody's perfect. We are not perfect. Our level of faith increases and decreases all the time, increases and decreases. Just what can I advise for myself first and foremost, and then only to somebody else is just when you have these blessings and everything, just be grateful. Just be grateful and don't forget. Like, just be grateful and try to pray on time, do everything, and after that, everything will fall in its own place.
Inshallah. Can I ask you about your daily routine? Because now you live here, you're a fighter, you also have other venues that you explore in. Could you tell me some more about that?
Oh yeah, like, so my day starts. I wake up all the time. It starts with a prayer. You have to start your day right. The worst thing probably is to start day by opening up your phone and scrolling around, all of these things. So I do the prayer. I do all of the other like daily habits which I have. I try to read Quran, read something else like biography. Now I'm gonna be happy to read this book as well, to include it in my like daily habits. After that, I have a training session, just like today we were there in TK. I train here at TK MMA Fitness. We have our pro sessions, whatever we have, like sparring sessions, grappling sessions, everything. And after that, I do some also like training for other people, some private classes. I don't do it a lot, like because I don't consider myself like a 100% coach. I just do it here and there because I know if I'm gonna do a lot of personal training, it's my energy is gonna be divided in between fighter, in between personal coach. So you're not gonna be the best here, you're not gonna be best there. So you're gonna be in between somewhere. So, but you have to do some. I like to give back as well. I'm just doing this. Of course, yeah, there is some kind of money. You gain some kind of money. You have to eat, live, and you have to support your family. But I like this. I like this. Like, I like being a fighter. I like training, getting ready for a fight. But I also understand that I have a lot of knowledge inside of physical education, martial arts, staying healthy. So I want to give back all of this knowledge that I have. And like our sports doctor back in Latvia, he says also, if you want to get extra knowledge, first you have to like empty your mind, like give back to the people. After that, only like new knowledge gonna come to you.
That's very well said. That's very well said, especially the quote that you said by your trainer, or
It's our sports doctor.
yeah, sports doctor. Could you talk about your time there in Latvia? How it was when you were younger and how you enrolled in the sports world?
Well, I was like, when I was growing up, I started to train when I was 7 years old. It was 1998. Before that, my parents, grandparents, like they have this like propaganda. They were showing me all of the Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee movies, blood sport, everything, turtle ninjas as well. So this was their propaganda, and I was just after that, it was just obvious to put me in some kind of martial art. And at that time, we in the city where I lived, we had a karate. It was at these times it was very popular. A lot of people. I remember when we went there and signed up. I don't know, 200 people maybe signed up, or maybe even more. Uh, so this is how I actually started. I started with karate, and when I was like getting a little bit older, then we started to do other things as well. Yeah, like boxing, kickboxing, judo, all of these things are.
Were you still practicing karate at that time?
Yeah, I was still practicing, but just like I wanted to like
Expand your knowledge.
yeah expand my knowledge and just like get more knowledge. Yeah, exactly. And I also saw UFC. Yeah, that was one of the reasons as well. I saw the first UFC, second UFC, and just went from there. Like, and there was a karate guy as well, and he didn't win. The jiu-jitsu guy won and everything. So that's why when I started to do all of these other martial arts, like judo, jiu-jitsu as well, and I got interested in MMA. And when I was 18 or 19, I don't really remember the precise, but then I like had my debut in MMA as well. This is when everything like all came together as well, all of the martial arts.
Did you always know you wanted to become a fighter full time? Because like I suppose you were also doing school back then, and you were very busy with that. How did that how did you combine those two things? And at what point did you certainly know, okay, this is what I want to do as a career?
Well, I was training all the time. I was like in sports, in karate. I was like 100%. I was like in our national team. We went to like all of the championships, European, world championships, going here and there all the time. So from early age I was like in a sports, and it was like almost already like your profession. You go to school. After that, you have to go to the training, or even before the school, you have to do the like your running. You go to school. After that, you do your karate, boxing, whatever you do, and it was all already like my profession at that time.
Yeah.
That's how I like started, and like I said, when I saw the first UFCs and everything, this is when I wanted to like try it out and also be a fighter.
Do you think it is valuable for a young child to start with the martial arts? Because me personally, I've been taekwondo since 2006, and I've learned a lot of lessons from there. Mainly discipline. I managed to like obtain a certain work ethic that I can apply in all things I do. What are some things that you've learned, and what would be some things that you would advise like people do so that they can also develop whatever skills they want?
100%, 100%. You have to put your child somewhere in some kind of sports, and like you said, taekwondo. I started with karate. These like traditional martial arts and everything. These are perfect. Like if you ask me, I would like advise to put your child in some kind of traditional martial arts, especially where there is a lot of discipline and a lot of respect for your coaches and all of your training partners and opponents as well. This is what it teaches the most. And why I like it like to put it maybe in karate or taekwondo or judo than in boxing, kickboxing, because as well there aren't a lot of punches to the head, like full power, full contact as well. So when child is growing up, I think it's not the like best to like get punched in the head. So these are the best martial arts. After that, yeah, when they get older and everything, when they grow up, when they are starting to become a man, you can put them like in a rougher sports like boxing, kickboxing, and also like before you can put it, I think also in a wrestling. 'Cause that teaches a lot to the child. That teaches like overcoming adversity, overcoming these hard trainings and everything. That's a good sport as well. I would like put my child also in a wrestling, yes. And actually wrestling, like we were talking about religion as well. So this is one of the so-called sunnahs, what our the last and final messenger Muhammad also like he suggested to do wrestling, swimming, and what was the one as well? Like shooting arrows. What is that? Like archery. Yeah,
Archery. Is there some information about why he specifically chose those activities?
I'm not sure, but like we were talking before, like these like kind of sports and martial arts. I consider wrestling a martial art as well. Because if you're gonna take a look in some kind of pictures, when I see these young kids training wrestling and everything, they're like 11, 12 years old. They're all ripped, all already like develops not just your body. Yeah, you get ripped, but also your mind. You get just tough, and you understand that you like overcome any hardships.
Do you think it's harder for someone when they're starting with a martial arts, for example, later in their careers, to say that? Because I know some fighters that started when they were 18, 19, and then they became
Even
very
later,
successful.
even later, yeah. I think Francis Ngannou, like the UFC heavyweight champion,
Yeah.
I think he started later, 20 something, or maybe even after that.
Have you heard him on the Joe Rogan podcast? He talked about how he went like through deserts, through like to Morocco, like in the sea. When I heard that, I just got goosebumps throughout the
Mind-boggling.
entire podcast.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You cannot compare these hardships, your own hardships, what he went through. So when you are in like some kind of difficulties and everything, you have to think there are people who are in more bigger difficulties. And what he went through and everything, I'm just happy that he won UFC heavyweight championship. Is the perfect story.
Yeah.
Is the perfect story to getting out from a small village in Cameroon, crossing the desert, like getting back to the desert, not like going to the Europe and everything. It was so hard. If you haven't listened to it, you just have to listen to it to this story. I'm so happy like that he won UFC championship.
He really deserves it. He really deserves it. And do you believe those hardships are essential for someone to become a UFC champion, for example?
I think it's not only that, it's necessary in your life. You have to have hardships, otherwise you're just gonna stay in your own comfort zone, and you're not gonna grow. You're not gonna grow as a man, as a human being. These are the things that develops you, develops your mind, that develops your life. I think you have to have hardships.
But imagine someone comes from a very comfortable childhood and they've never really encountered hardships. Everything was arranged well. They went to school. They got a nice degree. They just followed like a very traditional path, and they never had any hardships that they couldn't avoid because everything was taken care of by their parents or their family. What are some ways that people can deliberately put themselves into those hardships so that they can also develop character? Because I've heard that a lot.
Well, like we talked before, just put them into the sports, put them into the wrestling. You're gonna understand what is hardship, and that's why a lot of people are actually putting their kids and everything. Yes, of course they wanna get healthy kids, get them strong and everything. But I think it's more about your mindset. It teaches you this like never surrendering, like all of these competitions. When you go to the competitions, when you win, when you lose for the first time, all of these emotions, especially for a child, I think nothing can like replace that. Only if you are living somewhere like Francis was living, that's another level.
You talked about Francis. Are there some other fighters that inspired you?
Well, I was looking up to a lot of fighters, of course, when I was training, when I was in karate as well. I was looking up when I was watching UFC at that time. When I started to watch UFC, I was looking to Lyoto Machida. because he was from the karate where I started, the same karate style, Shotokan. And after that, in my last fight, I was fighting against his student. So this is like amazing how life turns out. You look up to a person, you look up to a fighter, and after that you meet, you compete against his fighter. So it was an honor for me as well. And when I started to watch UFC, of course, Royce Gracie, he's the founder of this UFC, of this MMA and everything. He showed the world that about jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu also is huge here in UAE. I know that you have like jiu-jitsu classes here in when you go to school, in police, in army. So it's perfect. It's perfect that this country is giving their citizens and residents all of this great knowledge.
You mentioned some of your fights that you've done, for example, lately. What was the most impressive fight you've done?
The most impressive, like I have to think about it. It's always the next upcoming fight that you're like focusing and everything,
Yeah.
and the last one and everything. I have done so many fights, especially like in karate. When I was growing up, we had a karate competition almost every week. So maybe I have like amateur style karate, like I don't know, thousand or maybe more karate matches. You know how it is, similar like taekwondo as well.
Yeah.
You go to a competition and you fight maybe 3, 4 to 5, 6 opponents. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's when I was growing up, it was almost like every week. So I got used to this competition, and after that, it was just common sense that I started to compete in MMA, in boxing, kickboxing, all of these like martial arts. And but if we are talking about like what I remember, like when it comes to my mind, when I'm thinking about my fights, the crazy experience was when I was fighting in China. At that time, I was living in Thailand, and I was training all the time, like staying ready. And the opportunity came up, like they called me maybe on Monday. We have a tournament here, an 8-man tournament in China. One of the fighters has been injured or something happened to him. He fell out of the tournament. We need a replacement for a 65 kg tournament. So I accepted the rules and everything.
How many days in advance was that?
Well, Monday I got the call, and on Saturday I was competing. This was this wasn't amateur. This was pro competition, an 8-man tournament. So this was a crazy experience. I went there. I made weight already Friday, and I fought on Saturday. The first fight I fought against an Iranian guy. I finished him in the first round with an armbar. A karate guy finishes somebody else with an armbar. Second fight, you win a fight, you go back to the locker room. You cannot sit, you cannot enjoy the fight, you cannot enjoy the victory. You have to get ready already for the next one. And about in 15 to 20 minutes, there's already your second fight, second pro fight. So I was fighting against Chinese fighter, the local guy. When you are fighting like local fighters all the time, you have to finish them. You have to finish them. Otherwise, they're gonna give the decision to the local fighter.
Is it always like that?
Like 99%, 99% it's like that. Especially when you're fighting in China. In China, it's 100%. So I knew that. I knew that.
It's funny because I talked to Rehan Irsel. He's the ONE FC champion now. And he told me the exact same thing. But also in Turkey, he said that there's also like a little bit the rules are bent. What is it like to fight in Asia in general? Like I can imagine a tournament like that is super exhausting. Like you don't have any moment to rest. Like keep on going. Like what goes through your mind at that moment?
You're just trying to stay in the present. You don't think about what's gonna happen next, what's gonna happen here and there, what you're gonna eat after fights. You just have to compete. You win your second fight. After that, in 20 minutes is the final and everything. You have to like stay focused all the time. It's not only tough for your body, but it's tough for your mind. You be 100% like focused and being ready just to fight, just being here and there, just not wandering around. But thank God I won that tournament. I got the victory, the belt, everything, and the experience there was great. It was like nowhere else. Because people there, it's a different feeling. Like after that, just local Chinese that they were coming taking pictures. I haven't seen this anywhere else. Like yes, you win a fight in whole time. Yes, there comes people taking pictures and everything. But like Asian fans, they're different. Their culture, they're like just their culture. Yeah, I guess it's like they are like supporting not just the winners. Of course, the winners they support extra, as I know, but. They are very respectful for martial artists.
How much time did you spend in Asia?
In Asia, well, when I was living in Thailand, I was living the last time when I was there. It was almost a year. Also different mentality there, different culture, and people are very respectful there. People are always most of the time smiling there, and all of these countries, even here when you are in Dubai, mostly it's all the time sunny, it's good weather, and it's a different feeling. Like of course there's gonna be tough days and everything. You're not gonna feel like going to the gym, you're not gonna feel like doing your business, your work or everything, but you just have to grind through. It doesn't matter, you feel happy, you feel sad, it doesn't matter, you have to grind through.
What were some hardships that you encountered there? Because I can imagine the system is completely different. So was it hard to get fights there? Because you mentioned that the only fight you had gotten there was the one on the 4-day notice, or like the 1 week notice, and then it's like a 8-man tournament, which is like the worst thing that can happen. I feel like.
Well, thank God for me, it wasn't the worst thing. It was the best thing at that time. I really needed it. Yeah, and
you had no doubts when accepting the call.
I didn't have any other option. I was without fights for I don't know, like 6 months or something. Money was running out. I was like on my last money and everything. I didn't have any opportunity and any other chance. I had to accept. I had to fight because long time there was no fights. I had to fight also because of the money. In the end, you're also a prize fighter. At that time, it was very important for me. And but after that, it gets more like, because before China tournament, I was like mostly fighting in Latvia, which is like in local promotions. Yeah, you like around Baltic states, you go to Estonia, Lithuania, but people don't know your name, people don't know your style, your fighting style, your people just don't know you. And after like I won this victory in China and everything, then people started to notice me. Then I got more like opportunities to fight here and there. So when opportunity like this comes to you, or any other opportunity, just say yes and figure things out later, how you're gonna deal with them, how you're gonna deal with these things.
Could you talk about the way that it works? Because you mentioned styles a few times. You do the Shotokan style, right? If I'm correct. Could you talk about how that works? That you have different styles in the sports, and that people from different styles can also compete together. How does that work in practical life?
Well, yeah, there are, like, you do Taekwondo, there are different styles as well. Karate, there are so many styles and everything. I started with Shotokan style, which is the traditional style. And now I'm competing in Karate Combat, which is a professional league for karate fighters, which is like, I would say so, like UFC for karate guys. This is the league which is, there is no one style. It brings all of the styles together, like Shotokan, Kyokushin, American karate, all of these styles. There are so many styles. Machida style as well. And you can get to compete against each other, and find out like who is the best of the style. It's not about the styles, of course. It's about the individual, because each and every style has like something good in it and something bad in it. Like about Bruce Lee said also, you take what is valid for you and you leave what is not good for you. So
Is it also a way, like when you're reading, for example? I've heard a lot of people say that when they read a book, they're like, "Yeah, this is like self-motivation stuff. It's not really important." Like, like when you read a book, do you selectively choose like what you can pick, and then you absorb it? You absorb that?
yes, of course, you cannot like take everything. You're not that person who's writing it. You're
Yeah.
not that guy. You're never gonna be Muhammad Ali. You're your own individual. You have to take some things what you consider is gonna be good for you, and maybe leave some things what is not right for you. It's all about your inner feeling, what you want and what you want to gain from it.
Did you train in different styles as well?
I trained in different martial arts.
Yeah.
Well, mostly about karate. I was training started with Shotokan, and after that I did all of these like different kind of styles, martial arts. I mean, like boxing, kickboxing, Thai boxing. I went to the Thailand, of course, because of the Thai boxing, because of Muay Thai. And what is the best place to learn Muay Thai? You have to go directly there, like the like so-called Mecca of Thai boxing, and it just went on from there. After that, I started to compete. I started to train people and everything, and now I opened my like own style. Like I call it Skrivers karate because it's different. It's not anymore Shotokan. It's not at all Thai boxing or boxing. It's what I took, what's in my mind the best from all of the
Interpretation,
styles.
yeah.
Yeah, I put it here, and I'm teaching to other students, other athletes, and we already have some of the black belts under me as well. We were doing our first exams in this summer, the previous summer, and these were the athletes who were training alongside me for many, many years. It's not like I did my style and after that we just did an exam.
Yeah.
They were training in different kind of styles. They already had karate belts, brown belts in Shotokan, in traditional styles. So after that, we all came together. We were training anyways together. I was helping out them in their martial arts journey. They were helping out me for my fights, for my martial arts journey. And now we have a team. Now we have our own style. And possibly in the future, in karate combat, you're gonna see more fighters from my style as well.
Hopefully. And what distinguishes your style from other styles that are out there?
Well, when you see me fighting, when you see the my black belts fighting from my team, you can understand that it's different. It's not just a point fighting style. It's a different style. You have all of these crazy kicks everywhere, like in Taekwondo and everything. I think Taekwondo is another level. Like when you look at the kicks, if you want to get all of these crazy kicks, leg dexterity and everything, I think you have to go to Taekwondo. But karate is like it includes everything. It's not just about kicks, about punches, about we have also takedowns and everything. So if you just wanna see what is my style about, you just have to watch me and all of the fighters. Yes, we have all of these crazy kicks, but we're basing our style on a smart fighting, being smart. You have to be smart there. You don't wanna get punched all the time in the head. Yes, sometimes you go inside, you take one punch to knock him out, but you want to prolong your career and you want to be a good human, capable human being after your fight career as well.
Do you believe enough fighters pay attention to their after fighting career? Because that's something that's mentioned a lot, and a lot of fighters struggle with that. It's also why I think fighting is one of the more riskier career paths you can choose, because you can't do it forever. Like at some point, you're gonna have to retire, and you're gonna have to do something else. Do you think in this day and age, fighters think about that enough, or is it something that is still not done?
I think most of the fighters probably don't think enough about it. Yes, for sure. That's how it is in our sport, and I think it's in sport in general. They don't think about what's gonna come next. But this is very important. You have to be smart, not just about your fighting style, but what you're gonna do after your fight. You have to have some kind of education. You have to have some kind of career path or business or whatever you like. You have to do. You have to build something besides the fighting career, because sooner or later, yes, it's gonna end. It's gonna end, and we everybody understands it anyways.
Yeah.
Everybody understands it, but not a lot of people take action. You have to take action, and you have to think about it.
Can I ask you if you have a plan in place for that? Because you mentioned that you work as a physiotherapist. You also work as a personal trainer. Are there some other things that you do in order to make yourself future proof?
Well, at the moment, I don't work a physiotherapist, but I have a education.
Yeah.
I finished university. I finished like not just a physiotherapist. I finished as a sports physiotherapist, like specified in the sports. And also I like finished university, graduated as a coach. So I have these options as well. I'm building my career with my gyms. We have a gym already in Latvia. We have a facility, a gym also in India. There are people training. We want to open up a gym here in Dubai as well.
Nice.
Because I think Dubai gave me so much at these like uh, crazy times that we went through from 2020 when everything was closed. Dubai was open. We were able to train. We were able to prepare. We were able to compete and to earn some money. And these are the things like. Of course, I'm thinking about it. I'm not just thinking about it, but taking action. Like it's not about what you do, how money comes to you. It's what you do after that. Where do you invest it? Where do you put it? So you have to have a right team, not just in fighting world, but just in you have to have the right mentors in life as well.
Do you think Dubai is a good place to be as a fighter?
It's a good place. It's a good place, 100%. There are a lot of gyms. Mostly I train, like I said before, in TK MMA. But here and there, for sparring, I go to different gyms as well, because you have to change up
Yeah.
not just the gym, but also the training partners, the sparring partners, and everything. I think it's a good place, and more international fights are happening here, like World MMA Championships, and UFC is here. Maybe I hear there's a talks that Karate Combat is gonna come here as well in Dubai. So there are a lot of possibilities for martial arts and fighters as well.
You decided to move to Dubai at a certain point. I imagine these factors played a role. What are some other things that you considered when moving to Dubai that played a role in your decision? Because it's quite a big move from going from Latvia to here.
Well, most important, here is really easily to practice your deen. It's not the so-called corporate America, because in each of these towers there are prayer rooms.
Yeah.
You go outside, there is a mosque. You can easily find a place where to pray. I'm not saying it's a problem in Latvia. No, it's not a problem in Latvia for me. I can easily pray anywhere, and nobody's gonna say anything to me. People understand nowadays. They're more educated about it. But this is much more easier here, of course. The second thing is, look at the weather. It's like mostly sunny all of the time. And yeah, so many options, like you said before we started even to speak. There are so many options. You can like expand your own name, your own business, your career in all kinds of ways.
Do you see yourself living here for the next 5 years?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think this is the one of the best cities in the world. Like I know I have been in New York as well. A lot of New Yorkers come here as well. They say this is like upgraded at New York. This is another level and everything.
Yeah. What I also heard that was very interesting is that people said that Dubai is still, on some domains, like 5 years behind on the rest of the world. So there's a lot of things to still do. Like there's so much construction going on, so that needs work. You can in all different things. Like you can contribute to that. You can create value more easily than other places in the world. That's something that you've because for example, also with if you would open your own school, I'm sure like there are probably some other schools, but not as much.
Yes, 100% I agree.
Yeah.
Like any individual who's gonna come here, I think he's gonna find what to do and what kind of value bring to Dubai.
So a question I'm always very interested in to ask is if you would be able to talk to younger Edgars. Is there some advice that you would give to your younger self that you would consider important, or something that some life advice perhaps that also younger people can learn from?
Well, life is life, and I lived. You never can change what was before and everything, but I would just suggest to myself, like, always believing, like, God, believe whatever was written for you, your destiny and everything. Life is not paradise. It's not paradise. This is dunya. This is a life that we are living for a short term. There's gonna be hardships. There's gonna be tests. So just never give up and be consistent in whatever you do. Whatever you do, be consistent. Like there's even a hadith that our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he also said that God likes the deeds, the good deeds that you are doing, the consistent ones. Even it's a small deed, whatever deed it is, a good deed that you do, it's about consistency. So you can learn from this as well. Just being consistent, persistent, and just going after your own dreams.
And because the question I always ask at the end of the podcast, because it's the signature question, would be, what does success mean to you? I've heard like a lot of different. I've made a few podcasts here in Dubai now, and I've heard like very different answers from everyone. I'm super interested in your answer.
I think success is not a destination. It's just a journey. It's all the time. It's not gonna be a point where you reach some kind of success, you achieve something, and that's it. If we are talking about sports, most of the guys, there was a study I read, most of the guys who won Olympic championships, after achieving their dream, after achieving the so-called success, they get in a deep depression, in a very deep depression. And I think a lot of people also knows about Tyson Fury. He won all of the world heavyweight boxing championship belts, and after that he got in deep depression. He was about to kill himself. So it's not about reaching some kind of goal all the time. You have to have a deeper goal, a meaningful goal. It's not just about getting to the UFC championship, getting all of these belts, getting all of this money, and I think it's all of this journey. Just enjoy life, be thankful, work hard and everything, and like never stop. Even if you reach something, it's not end. Life goes on, and nobody cares. You just have to grind through. Nobody cares. And what is my motivation after I reach my goals and everything? You can easily fall in like depressions, like we know from these studies and everything, from these like biographies, from Tyson Fury, from a lot of athletes. Like Allah says in Quran, I have not created mankind and jinn except to worship me. So always keeping a higher goal, higher besides this like dunya lifestyle success and everything. When you reach some kind of goal, like I said, win championship, gain a lot of money and everything, there has to be something behind it. And people who don't have it, what I haven't seen from my own life and everything, they could easily fall in these like depressions and everything. But when you have this, when you understand this, that we have created for a reason, there's a higher reason, then always you can go back to your own creator.
Could you maybe elaborate a little bit on that study that you read? Because I'm very interested in that. So I would suppose that it's one of the reasons is because they experience such a very, like a high, like a dopamine high, adrenaline, like you're such like a height, and then when you're back in training, like it goes all the way down. Is that one of the reasons that they found that depression, or
As I understand, it's more about what they think, because they are having this goal. Like, for example, this what I was looking at, they are trying to win Olympic gold medal, and Olympics are only once in 4 years. So they have this goal all of these 4 years, or even more. Not just 4 years. You're growing up. You all the time you're thinking Olympic goal. I want to be Olympic champion. Everything. Once you reach that goal, your whole life was dedicated to becoming an Olympic champion. You became Olympic champion, and after that, you don't know what else to do, because you were just thinking how to diet better, how to train better, to which place to go to a training camp. You were just like thinking, having this tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And after that, when you reach it, you don't have any other goals. That's when you fall down, when you think like, what should I do with my life now? And like we talked before about fighters, like thinking about what's gonna come after the fight career. This is the same thing, like when you reach like highest highs, when you reach all of the goals, when you finish career and everything, what you're gonna do if you don't have a plan, if you don't know what you're gonna do, there can be devastating consequences. And I also knew, like I was reading about Japanese people, that they have no retirement age. They are working the whole life, and they're having some kind of goal. They have to take care of themselves. They have to take care of their own families. And Japanese has also one of the highest
life expectancy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you think one of the reasons is they have a purpose in life? I think that plays a big role, right?
I think that plays a big role, but also I think their lifestyle, their culture, a lot of things.
What are some good habits that people can pick up to improve their lifestyle habits?
Like, you have to start like with here. I think this is like this is your garage, so-called garage. You have to like put everything into the place. You have to put everything into the place. If it's gonna be chaos there is no space for daily good habits. Start by your own mind, by being clear, focused, and after that, you can easily find many like habits on the internet.
Yeah.
What can you do? Yeah.
Edgars, thank you so much for all the knowledge. You're a very, very knowledgeable person.
Thank you for welcoming me, and it was my pleasure to come here and speak to you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm the most brutal and efficient, most ruthless champion there's ever been.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! You should be a monster.